Hey everybody, Isaiah Colton here, and today I had on my mind to talk about something that could be literally a game changer for your business, something that could increase your revenue, it could decrease your cost per sale, change basically the way that your clients see you and the value that you bring to the table. If done the right way, can be the difference between meeting or exceeding your goal. I got Ron Mazza on here, who has trained and coached thousands of agents to walk us through this conversation. Say hi to everybody, Ron.
Hello, everybody.
So today's I'm going to talk to you about the concept of what I call putting together an offer. Okay, so there's a great book called The Irresistible Offer that I read a long time ago when I first got involved in business, and I think it's been one of the reasons why I've been able to take a concept or go into multiple different types of businesses or industries and quickly scale them and generate revenue without having to even raise venture capital or have a whole lot of startup money. And a lot of these concepts are the same concepts that get used in any business, but also are directly applicable to real estate. And I think you look at what's happened in the industry between how competitive it is, tech companies that are basically becoming competitors, trying to which puts pressure on the commissions, puts pressure on value because they're trying to present a structure that they can, the homeowner can do a lot of things online, and maybe planting a seed in the agent's head on what, how much the commission is and why they should pay that much commission. And it creates some challenges out there. And so it's more important than ever to have a unique offer, or what a lot of people call a unique selling proposition or value proposition. And so one of the things I think is so important is to sit back and ask yourself this simple question: what the hell makes you different than anybody else that you compete with? What makes you different? And if there's different levels of there's different answers to this question. Some are good, some are bad, and some are great. And one of the things that when you start off your business plan or you set your goals, one of the most common mistakes that I see owners, entrepreneurs, or salespeople make when they go out to the marketplace is they'll put all this fancy business plan together. They'll put up a great website. They'll do all these different things, but the one thing they should have started with, take a guess, is your marketing plan. It's your offer. It needs to be at the center core of everything. It needs to be on your business cards. It needs to be on your website. It needs to be talked about every point. When they call your damn phone number, before it goes to your voicemail, they should be hearing the offer of some kind. So if they're calling into like maybe a general office number, at the very least, right? So at every point, if they start hearing about the offer, and it becomes part of your brand, and as it becomes part of your brand, then word of mouth kicks in, and then people start talking about you and thinking of you more. And at the end of the day, it's about one simple thing right now with all the competition that are out there. Of course, if you're face to face and you're having a conversation, it's different. But from a macro level, from a marketing standpoint, it's all about dominating it's called mind share dominance. If you haven't heard that term, that's what it's about. And so, Ron, you've been in the game a long time. I want to hear from you. Just your own words, the importance of having a unique offer or a unique value proposition in today's market.
Well, I think the first word of that says it all. Unique. It's something different. It's something that only you share or people try to copy, because once you have proposed it and put it out there, it's yours. Yeah. And anybody else is just following you, which puts you that one notch higher. That's right. Because quite honestly, it's that you started it, you own it, you got it. And like even on our website, we have our unique value propositions you go into the website and they're just flashing across the screen, and it's like, well, what are they? And we get calls all the time. Can you explain this to me? Absolutely. Come on in, or let me come over there, or whatever the case may be. But without something to make you unique in this whole marketplace, you're just a run-of-the-mill, everyday agent. That's all you are. And you know what? And you said it when you started this conversation. And I'll say it a different way. Why would anybody want to work with me? It's like, what do I have to offer them that's going to, number one, help them. Number two, makes me different. Number three, it's going to be better for them because it's a win-win situation. And then, anything when you're out there trying to build your inventory to crush it, you're going up against a lot of competition. And you know what I've seen in the past, like in the not very far past, is when I'm looking at agents and they're losing listings because they don't have something like this. They don't know what it is, or they don't believe in it, or whatever the case may be. But as you said, why would you want to work with me? Because I have all these tools, and let me show you how they work into my marketing plan. That's the key. It all works in a marketing plan. We talk about these things, but quite honestly, it's like if you don't have one, if you don't have it so organized, and you got to remember too, Isaiah, it's not a cookie cutter marketing plan.
No.
It doesn't just fit everybody's situation. It's got to be flexible. Your unique value propositions, you got to have some for this type of individual. Some are different for another one, but it's not just one thing. It's a lot of things that you do well.
That's right.
And quite honestly, makes you unique in the marketplace.
Yeah, it's really good. And so I think, Ron, you make a good point. There's got to be a strategy behind it, right? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the strategy of creating a unique offer, right? And what that looks like, and break this down. So I want to start off from a marketing standpoint, and then share with you how it should flow down and bleed into the sales process. So you got marketing and sales. Number one, if you have a team and you're trying to grow a team, make sure your sales team understands your marketing plan. One of the biggest mistakes that I see real estate teams make is the sales team has never sat in on what the marketing team is trying to accomplish, or what the entrepreneur, the business owner, the broker is trying to do and accomplish. So there's a disconnect between what is trying to be achieved and what the messaging is and what actually happens in the sales process. And because of that disconnect, what happens to conversion? It gets jacked up. That's what happens. It gets messed up because they don't understand the psychology of what's trying to happen. So number one, make sure your sales team and your marketing team, or the entrepreneur, the broker, whoever is putting out that marketing plan, is on the same page. Make sure your team understands the unique value proposition. They understand how to talk to them, how to train them, how to coach, or how to speak to them, what circumstances to bring them up. So that's a huge thing, right? Now behind that, you have to think about the niche you're trying to go after. So for example, if you primarily want to be a buyer's agent or work with more buyers, you're going to have a different marketing plan or a different message than you're going to if you're looking to attract more sellers, right? So everything that I train and coach, and I know Ron is this way too, is focused on generating more listings, right? And if you ever read the book by Keller Williams, Millionaire Real Estate Agent, he talks about leads, listings, and leverage. Well, there's a whole strategy behind that. So a lot of what we're going to speak to and the ideas we're going to give here today, and maybe a little bit on Monday when we continue this conversation, is filtered around the idea of focusing on listings, generating more business, more transactions on the listing side. So that's the niche. Now here's the thing. There's niches within niches. So if you think that your messaging is going to be cookie cutter, to Ron's point, based on the niche of selling, well, guess what? A for sale by owner has different needs, different objections, different desires than an expired. Now, some of them are identical and the same, but some of them are very different, right? Somebody who is a late age for sale by owner is going to have a different mindset and different objections than somebody early stage. Somebody that is an expired listing that listed 2 years ago is going to have different questions and different objections than somebody that listed and is just coming off the market. If you're going to go after a geo lead, that's going to be different. It's going to be different, right? So you got to have ammunition. You got to have an arsenal, if you will, of different unique value propositions that you can use along the way, depending on the niche. And so one of the important things, though, is I want to talk about, again, circling back from a marketing standpoint, is once you understand the niche, now you can start speaking to that, and your offer should be tailored around that. So how do you get them to engage? How do you keep them engaged? What do you want to be known for? So Ron, what are some of your favorite unique value propositions from a marketing standpoint to get somebody to pick up the phone and want to find out more?
Well, my favorite, I'm sure you'll know this, is a Smart Seller Program. And basically, it's especially when you're talking to somebody who's a for sale by owner, or thinking about selling the house on their own. The bottom line is it gives them some options. And one option they don't have, it's very difficult to say no to you because, quite honestly, they can't lose. You know what I mean? And, it's just, and I always like to say to them, it's basically a contest. Let's see who sells it first, you or me.
I love it.
It just gets them going, and that's my favorite. But that's really the one I would use the most. Especially with a for sale by owner.
Yeah, so I want you to think about this too. And Smart Seller programs can be tailored towards whatever audience you need to too. Just think about the title, Smart Seller Program. Wait a second. What is the Smart Seller Program, right? Imagine this on your website. Imagine this on your business card. Imagine this at every single point. You start branding yourself having the Smart Seller Program. It's everywhere. And you don't even have to say what it is on the site because you want to leave some curiosity. Maybe you can speak to a couple things that are with it, but you want to play the trailer and not the movie, right? Good marketing gives them the trailer, not the movie. And if you've ever watched a bad trailer, it's when you feel like you've watched the whole movie and you don't need to go see it, right? But if you watch a good trailer, there's a piece of it, it intrigues you, and then you want to go see the movie. It's the same thing with a marketing piece. It's the same idea. So what I like about the Smart Seller Program is you can tailor the Smart Seller Program to fit whatever needs that you feel comfortable with, whatever objections you feel comfortable with. You can have a couple different Smart Seller Programs, right? And that you can work with depending on the need. But, I think it's a great example from a marketing standpoint. Then they call in, right? Or maybe they respond to an email or a postcard or whatever it may be. And they're like, I was just saw on your website you had something called the Smart Seller Program. I'm thinking about selling my house in 3 months. So, and I want you to think about this. If you go to 2 websites, both of equal beauty, okay, or of equal value, okay, and this person maybe doesn't know this person's trying to maybe get the value of their home. They're thinking about selling. They're not really necessarily as worried about the type of agent they're working with, but they're starting to engage, and they might want to start interviewing agents, right? Whose site do you think they're going to call when they see I'm the best realtor on the planet? Right? Versus check, here's our site, get your free home valuation and find out about our Smart Seller Program. What do you think? Who do you think they're going to call?
The big difference is it's all about them, not you now.
Right.
Because when I'm the best out there, I'm the number one guy.
Yeah.
It's all about me.
Right.
But when you say it's a Smart Seller Program, it's all about the seller.
That's right. And that's right. And here's the thing: there's a time and place to show off your accolades, right? And to have some credibility in there. But that shouldn't be the first thing, right? You know how many real estate websites I go to, and the first thing I see is I'm number one in all of whatever the area.
Region.
Yeah, right.
Region, yeah.
I have the best closing rate, or top realtor of the year, right? So that's what they're leading with. Now, I'm not saying that can't be somewhere on the page or somewhere in the marketing piece, But if you're leading with that, you're losing business because everyone's saying that, right? Everyone's saying they're the top. I'm the top in my office. I'm the top. I have the top closing ratio. I have the most volume. I have this. Everyone can find some statistic to be the top in, okay? So it's not unique in the seller's mind because everyone uses that language. I'm one of the best. I literally never forget this phone call that I had early on in my career before I really knew about this concept or was fully trained on it or studied it. I was on the phone and I was actually listening and training an inside sales agent talking to a homeowner. And the homeowner said, look, I'm not going to use your service. And they said, why? Well, because you're saying you're the best. And the last guy that just called me said they were the best. One of you's lying, and because I don't know which one is, I'm not using either one of you. All right? So like that's what the guy said on the phone to the ISA. Right? Yeah. So because okay, you're the best. All right, great. Hey, you should take the interview. They're one of the best in the industry. You should check them out. Very valuable. And he literally stopped them dead in the conversation, and I never forgot it. And it was a huge lesson. So we're going to talk about some more ideas on Monday on other unique value propositions. Here's the message. What's your marketing strategy? What makes you different? Is your sales and marketing team in sync with each other? Okay. What niche do you want to go after? And what are you using to speak to that niche at the forefront of all of your marketing? And it better not be I have great photography or I'm the best. Okay? Because it will not work. With that, I hope you have an awesome Friday, Ron. Again, thank you as always. This will change your business. Take advantage of it. The second you're done watching this, start thinking through what makes you different. And also, too, feel free to ask questions and comment on this video. If you want to know more about unique value propositions, if you want help developing one, literally, this has changed everything for us. And we've done literally hundreds of millions of dollars in transactions because of this, and coached and trained others how to do even more. So I hope you have an awesome Friday. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday.